Hi everyone, my name is Charles. A lot of people refer me as Trip. I grew up in this area. I'm 47, graduated from mainland, have 2 children, my lovely wife Francesca, live in Northfield. Been coming to Mission Point for probably about a little over a year now. Grew up in the church, went to local Linwood community, was there 2 days a week, every week, whether I wanted to or not. It was more social than anything. Knew about the Bible, knew about God, knew about Jesus, but I don't know if it necessarily resonated. I would say around 8th grade, the pastor who we were very, very close family friends with got, I would say, run out of the church for different reasons, and it hurt. I started to follow a path where basically I held God accountable for what other Christians did. I didn't think Christians should act like that towards one another. Left a sour taste in my mouth and really hurt my heart. So closely after that, church hopped around a little bit, but really just decided I knew what was best. I knew the right decisions to make. I knew what was best for me. Fast forward, meet the girl of my dreams, we get married, we have 2 beautiful children. Didn't think I needed to raise them in the church. Again, I knew what was best. My wife and I can make good decisions, right? I'm a good person, I'm a good husband. People tell me that I'm doing a good job, and that's what made me feel like I had everything under control. It really came down to me longing for something and not really knowing where I stand on things. And if I didn't know what I stand for, how could my wife know what I stand for? And more importantly, how could my children? And that's when my wife and I started to have some conversations with my brother-in-law, actually, him becoming saved, and having some conversations about what brought you there, what were you feeling. And it was everything that I was feeling. I was feeling scared. I couldn't control everything, angry. It wasn't until I kind of just became vulnerable and wanted to learn about Jesus. I realized that I've always read the Bible, but I never really read the Bible. And started attending Mission Point. Pastor Rich and Pastor Chris got a Bible in my hand, and I started in the New Testament and really learned about Jesus. And when I started reading about Jesus and how Jesus led his life, the 2 most important things: to love God, to worship God as your creator, and to love your neighbor. And with those basic principles, that's how I wanted to lead my life. Growing up in the church, I knew all about the Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. I knew all about that, but when I realized that he died for me, a sinner, when I didn't deserve it, if he's willing to forgive the people that killed him, how can I be so immature and so blocked and feel justified that I can give it back? That lifestyle seemed so foreign to me because I felt so justified to hold people accountable the way they treated me. And you realize that if the world would just follow Jesus and how he lived and how he treated other people, this world would just not seem so broken and the lost would be found. Since then, everything's changed. Everything went upside down because now I try to look up and not look across. Every day's not easy, it's still a struggle, but I know where my source is at. And now that my family has come along, my dad's come along, it just gives me strength. And coming from somebody who thought that I knew all the right moves and that I have everything together, to show humility and realize that I don't, and that there's only one person that does, it's a peace that you cannot buy. It's something that you feel. So getting baptized and making that decision was actually a long time coming. Coming to different services and seeing people get baptized and share their story, I knew pretty early on that I wanted to do that because I felt a change in me. And not only in me, I felt that my actions were changing and I wanted to glorify him. So to get baptized for me was really easy. Unfortunately, I wanted to do it in the ocean. I wanted to do it when it was warm, but however it kind of transpired, it ended up being in December. It was really, really cold. I surf all year round, so that wasn't a big deal. I was very elated when Pastor Chris told me that I was going to be able to wear my wetsuit. You know, he said he wanted me to be a joyous occasion and not something that I was definitely going to regret. I had a nice little thing I wrote down and I was praying about it. I was super duper nervous. And then when I showed up and I saw all my friends and family and people I didn't even expect from the church that I didn't even know. It was really a moment that was tough to put into words. I just felt overwhelming joy and gratitude for the support. I can remember sitting there and Pastor Chris and Pastor Rich praying over me, and I can remember opening up what I wrote, and while they were praying over me, I just prayed that God would just fill my words with His words. And for whatever reason, I was able to fold what I had written, I put it in my Bible, and I was able just to talk about the change in me that I felt. What happened before, it definitely exists, that's my past, but this is the new me in Christ. Because no matter what happens now, whether it's health, whether it's difficulty at work, or my kids are going through something difficult, I know that this is just a testing ground. And I know that eternity is going to be with Him. It gives me a peace that I cannot, again, put into words. I always would see, people coming out of church when I wasn't saved, and they were always just happy, and it would make me jealous. Like, how were they so happy? And it's like, I get it now, because it's in your heart.
I ask this question to a lot of people normally to wrap it up, and it's like, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about pursuing Jesus?
Are you happy? I'm not talking about your mood right now, but are you truly happy in terms of depth? Do you feel grounded? Do you see a future? Because I always thought that there was always another time. I could do that later. And you realize as you get older, there's not a lot of time. And you never know when it might be your last time. So I would say to somebody like my 20-year-old self, there's never a wrong time. And that time you think that you're gonna have, you're never guaranteed that. You're only guaranteed right now. Open up the Bible. Just read about Jesus. Read about how He lived His life and what He represented, sacrificing Himself on the cross in death for sinners that didn't deserve it. And that will give you the energy and the juice that you need to live your life. Whether you know it or not, He has walked before you, He's walked behind you, and He's next to you.